The world was quiet when she worked, too quiet. While others slept in warm beds behind locked doors, Anna moved through empty hallways with a mop in one hand and a prayer in her heart. She didn't belong to the world of high-rise buildings and glass offices, but she walked through it every night, sweeping up the pieces no one cared to see. And though no one ever thanked her, she kept going. Because Anna wasn't cleaning for herself. She was cleaning to save her little brother's life. 12-year-old Miguel had a congenital heart defect. The doctors said he needed surgery soon. Without it, his time would run out. But the cost? More than Anna could imagine. Her mother had passed away when Miguel was just a baby. Their father had vanished even earlier. Anna, only 22, had raised her brother alone, playing the role of sister, mother, protector, and provider. By day, she worked part-time at a cafe. By night, she cleaned offices in a corporate building downtown. She barely slept. Barely ate. Every dollar went into an envelope taped to the back of her dresser drawer, her Miguel fund. Her body ached, her fingers blistered, and still, she smiled at her brother every morning like nothing was wrong. What Anna didn't know was that someone had noticed her. One night, as she cleaned the top floor, home to the company's executive offices, she heard a door creak open behind her. She spun around, heart racing, assuming she was alone. But standing there, in a tailored suit and holding a coffee cup, was Mr. Harrison Blake, CEO of Blake Tech Industries. He was young for a CEO, mid-30s, sharp eyes, always moving like he had somewhere more important to be. Everyone in the building feared him. He wasn't cruel, but he was known for being distant, business first, never personal. Anna froze, clutching her mop like a shield. "I didn't mean to scare you," he said calmly. "You work late." I just clean, sir," she stammered, lowering her gaze. But Blake didn't leave. Instead, he watched her quietly, then nodded once and walked back into his office. Anna thought little of it. Rich men didn't care about cleaning girls. But the next night, he was there again. And again. Sometimes he'd say nothing. Other times he'd nod or ask a simple question, "How's your night going?" or "Long shift?" She answered politely and kept her head down. Then came the night he saw her crying. Anna had just gotten off a call with the hospital. The payment deadline had moved up. They wouldn't schedule the surgery without at least half of the deposit. She was still $6,000 short. She tried to hide her tears, but they slipped out anyway, right there in the quiet, dimly lit lobby. "I'm sorry," she whispered, wiping her face. "I didn't mean to." "You okay?" Blake's voice came from the shadows, softer than usual. She didn't want to answer. Didn't want to burden him. But something in her broke. "My brother needs heart surgery," she said, barely above a whisper. "I'm trying. I'm working so hard. But I'm running out of time." There was silence. Then he asked, "How much?" Anna looked up, startled. I'm not asking for money. Please, forget I said anything. I shouldn't have." But Blake didn't forget. The next day, Anna received a call from the hospital. An anonymous donor had covered the full cost of Miguel's surgery. She collapsed onto the floor, sobbing uncontrollably. She raced to the hospital to confirm. It was real. The surgery was scheduled. Her brother had a chance. That night, when she arrived to clean, Blake was waiting by the elevator. "You didn't have to," she started. "I know," he interrupted. "But I wanted to." "Why?" she asked, tears threatening again. He looked at her for a long moment. "Because I watched you for weeks. Working late. Never complaining. And I realized you're doing more for your family than most people ever would. That kind of love, it deserves a miracle." Anna couldn't find words. Only gratitude. From that moment on, things began to change. Blake offered her a position in the company's operations department, starting as an assistant but with real growth potential. He said her determination was worth investing in. She took it. In the months that followed, Miguel recovered beautifully. His cheeks turned pink again. He played soccer in the park and laughed like the boy he'd been before the illness. Anna began to thrive. She took night classes, learned new skills, and rose quickly at Blake Tech. Blake remained kind but distant, never once using his generosity as leverage. That made her respect him even more. 2 years later, Anna stood on a stage at a company event as Employee of the Year. She looked out at the crowd, found Blake's quiet nod of pride, and smiled. "I started here as a janitor," she told the audience, voice trembling. "I worked in the dark, never thinking anyone would notice. But someone did. And that changed everything." Moral: you never know who's watching or how your quiet efforts, your sacrifices, and your love might inspire a miracle. Keep going. Kindness doesn't always announce itself, but it remembers. And sometimes, when you least expect it, it answers.